So I finally watched I Saw the TV Glow. And what? Really? We're calling this masterpiece material? Chase Lee Hockey here with the Blue Futon review, and I Saw the TV Glow. What's about? I'm not gonna call it a simple premise. About two quote unquote friends in high school watch this show, and it has maybe powers where they connect with a weird thing on the back of their neck, and one of them runs away, one of them stays in this town, and apparently the director's transgender, so it has some transgender overtones to it. I didn't get it. I didn't see it. There was one episode, maybe, or one part of the movie where the Justice Kid is wearing a dress, and it's more of like, it felt like a grooming thing. But overall, to me, this movie is overblown, artsy-fartsy piece of shit. I did not like this movie at all. And I actually watched it twice, because I was like, maybe I'm not understanding this one. But rewatching it, I just know. To the end, where he has a freak out. Then he's like, I'm sorry. And so that's how he ended. And then him putting his face to the TV. I just don't understand this movie. Period. End of subject. Maybe I'm not mentally stupid. Or, yeah, that's what it is. I think people that like this movie have something wrong with them, honestly. Because, look, at a point, like, this, yeah, you could say the movie is an interesting feel to it. And then the singing scene, or the concert scene in the middle of the movie, I was like we're just focusing on these people singing. I'm just like, what the fuck is this? Like, at a point, some movies, I just can't deal with this shit. And this is one of the movies I just can't deal with this shit. So I can say the positive. Like I said, there are some interesting elements. Like, I liked the Moon bad guy, like how he looked and how it was portrayed. I really dug that. And I also like some things in the movie when it dealt with, like, things you experienced as a child versus, going back to it 30 years later or 20 years later, of like how maybe it wasn't the same thing as you remember. Because with the TV show, like, he remembered in high school being this like kind of an X-Files thing, but 3 years later it turned to more like a Teletubbies thing where like kids like high five and everything's okay and the ice cream man is okay and there's nothing's ridiculous about it. These star-crossed lovers, I was just really confused with what this movie was trying to do overall, because at a point, she's a lesbian, and he's just a quiet dude, but it's slowly she's like, are you sure that's what you are? Are you sure that's what you are? It's like, it felt like grooming aspects of like, a guy's like, what if he's just a quiet dude? But it's like, no, something's wrong with you. Like, think, and you're like purposely hurting someone else's psyche for your own gain. And that's what I felt like. I felt like this girl was just so fucked up, and that she wanted to bring someone down with her. And she chose this simple subject, this dude at the high school who was 2 years younger than her. Like I said, some grooming things really come into play, in my opinion, where it's like, yeah, it just doesn't work for me. Where it's like, she's like, are you sure? Are you sure? And it's like the whole thing where it's like, then you like, the whole thing when you see a crime, right, or a car accident, where a cop goes to you and like says things a little bit differently each time, to make you question things. And that's how a lot of people get in trouble when they get interviewed by the cops and have lawyers with them. Like, they'll sprinkle some things where you're just like, wait, did that happen? Is that really a thing? And it's a fucked up thing. And this movie does it with that main character where it's just like, are you sure? Are you sure? And it makes him like, oh, maybe I should wear a dress. Maybe I am transgender. Maybe. It's like, no. Like, what if you're just a quiet dude? At a point, what the fuck are we doing? And like I said, there's just some things where it tries to be like artsy and like make your point, like middle finger up in the air, and it doesn't for me. Nah, it's just a artsy fartsy movie that doesn't bring anything new to the table except some cool imagery and just interesting art aspects to it. Because when it came to, like I said, the ending, I just laughed on how bad it was, of like this kid who's just like, grow a fucking pair. Like, at a point, stop being so fucking weak. And I think that's the other thing too, is like, at a point, stop being weak. Like, yes, you might have had some shitty things with your stepfather, or is that, no, your real father, sorry. But at a point, it's like, you gotta grow a spine, put your shoulders up, like, back up and be like, what? I know that sounds a little silly, but not physically. Just be like, yo, I'm done. I'm moving. And I think that's the weird thing too, where I don't know if it's a metaphor, but people are just too scared to move. At a point, it's like, they're just so comfortable, even though they're in a shitty situation, that they just don't feel like they need to, like, just leave. Pack your shit up, find somewhere else. There's 50 states in the United States. There's Canada. There's Mexico below you. There's something called Europe, even though visas and things like that are harder. But there are different things around the world you can do. And so that's why I just don't like the pity party bullshit of this movie, too. It's just like, it was so fucking eye-rolling to a point where I was like, ugh. And to me, yeah, this movie doesn't work for me whatsoever. Like I said, I even watched this twice. I rarely do that, but I watched the credits roll, and I was like, did I miss something? Is there something that you're just supposed to not get the first time? And that's what I also hate, too, is where it's like, it takes like 5 viewings for you to understand it, man. No. If it takes me 5 fucking viewings to understand a movie, I have so many other movies to watch that I could have put 4 other movies in for that one. So no. So I saw the TV Glow. Yes, is it the worst A24 movie of the year? No. That goes to the front room. 100% goes to the front room. But I saw the TV Glow is pretty damn low in my opinion. Is it going to be top 25 worst movies of the year? Probably not. But it was one where I had to watch this year to put on a list. And it disappointed on full frontal shit. It was just no. Nah, not for this guy. So I saw the TV Glow will receive a 1.5 out of 5 with Futons, which equals at 30%. So let's see what the critics and user scores gave this one. So critics were at an 84% with 222. Audience score is 71% with over 100. But in IMDb, if not mistaken, we're at a 58%. But I bet you Letterboxd jerked this one off hard. Critic consensus. With a distinctive visual aesthetic that enhances its emotionally Renaissance narrative, I saw the TV Glow further establishes writer-director Jane Schoenbrun as a rising talent. And yeah, if you ever seen what Jane Schoenbrun looks like, it would be hard not to say sir. I'm sorry. Anyway, 71, 84, 30. Chase out here, the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. One more thing's Bluetontopia. You Blue Futonians, take a watch for a great day. Watch the state tomorrow, week for a month, or a year for every single freaking one of you. And I'm not trying to be like mean, but at a point, it's like, are you playing cosplay at a point? Especially with that Bachelorette dude. It's like, I'm so fucking done with this political like bullshit to a point. Like, it's just like so.